What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, you'll probably notice that I am outside. That's because I wanted to try to do this outside. Maybe waited a little bit too late in the day. It's 113 outside right now, but I'm in the shade, so don't mind my sweating a bit. But the reason I wanted to do it outside is because for most part of the mornings, Kaylee and I will sit out here and we'll breathe and we'll do some meditating depending on how hot it is. The sun is rising from this side here, and it is not too hot then, and the sun shines just perfectly on us. We can get our sun in the morning, we can get our oxygen in, and we meditate, and it's nice and peaceful. And I just really like what we've started to build here with our plants. These both were originally inside my house, but I found out that they thrive outside. They were starting to both die in there, but we brought them out here, repotted them, new soil, and now they're looking great. But that's not why we're here. The reason why you clicked on this video is because you wanted to know about Transcendental Meditation. So I want to start off by saying that I have not paid for the program and done it professionally or whatever, but I have done my research and I've looked around and I've done it for 3 months solidly. And sorry if you guys can hear the cars passing by. I'll try not to say anything too important if I hear one coming, but I've done my research on it and I've actually been doing this every single day, twice a day, not for 20 minutes, for about 10 minutes, for a total of 20 minutes in the day. But I've been doing it every day, in the morning and at night. I gotta say, I feel like I reached a point now where I am actually transcending, and I just wanted to give my tips on how and what I'm doing, basically, if you don't have the $2,000 or whatever it costs to pay for this program. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't if you have the money. If you want to pay for it, I'm not saying not to, because I'm sure that if you did pay for it, you'd get the guide, another car. You'd get, somebody that will answer all your questions for you, so you don't have to go researching all this stuff, and they'll help you pick your mantra. And it'll be a little bit more special and probably a lot easier for you to transcend or learn how to. But for the people that can't afford it but still want to, like I did, I just thought that it's only fair that if I learned this on my own and figured it out, that I should share that knowledge, because that's the whole reason why I have a YouTube channel in the first place. So I want to start by saying about the mantra. If you want to keep yours a secret, that's the whole thing, is that they say that it's something that once you pick one, it's special to you and you should not share it with anybody. I don't know anything about that. I've tried to look around and it just seems to be a little bit on the BS side as far as why it's a secret. But they say that, when you pay for it and, this person's talking to you and helping you out, that you'll understand why it's a secret when meditating. But I just picked 3 words that, don't mean anything to me. Mantras and or sounds. You can use sounds even, or just vibrations, because it's basically just a vibration. And maybe look up some 3-syllable mantras online, or just combine 3 single-syllable mantras. So I use Shala Om, which is in my head I say it Shala Om, Shala Om, Shala Om. And at first when I did this, I was matching it to my breathing, so I would do it as I'm breathing in and do it as I'm breathing out. But that's kind of distracting in my opinion. It may work for some people, but for me that was almost distracting me from my mantra, from my vehicle. And that's what a mantra is supposed to be, is your vehicle to transcend. So you want to try to do it and let your breath just be it on its own. That's kind of what I learned from the 3 months of doing this. The best way I can explain it is try, for me, I wouldn't hold my breath to where I was but as I was breathing, I'd find a good breathing pattern, as I'm thanking myself for being present for this meditation and whatnot. And then as I'm about to do it, I just go straight into the rhythm of the Shala Om, Shala Om, while holding my breath, just keeping it still so that it will just start up on its own, because obviously you're not going to just sit there and hold your breath. Your body will, kick in and start breathing for you. But that's kind of how I got it in. But as far as just getting your own rhythm, I would say just keep trying it, because when I first started this, I did it on and off. I would switch between a mindful meditation and a transcendental meditation. I found personally that guided meditations and transcendental meditations work best for me. And then when I really started to feel that I was staying more focused or not really having crazy thoughts while trying to do my transcendental meditation, that's when I decided to stick to it for 3 months, and that's the meditation I've been doing for the last 3 months. Last month is when I started to feel like I was actually transcending, and it was honestly kind of confusing. For me, it came in waves of almost like being like car sick or like seasick. I felt a little bit like I was gonna get like nauseous and sick a little bit. So a lot of times I would stop and open my eyes and kind of just get grounded again. And it wasn't until like I decided to like push through that and really feel that like that's when I was in a space of like being like almost outer body, or like just not, I'm present but not in my body. It feels like I'm like in the universe. It's really hard to explain. It's something that you have to like try, but my whole point here is basically don't give up, the first week or a month into it, especially if you haven't been doing it regularly. I would say, some people I've heard stories of online that they've done it for years and it seemed like it wasn't working very well. And a lot of times they'll go back to their like master or their teacher and, ask them why it's not working. And they'll just be like, oh, that's not the mantra for you. And they'll have them pick another mantra and they'll try to go from there. But I really think that in the end, no matter how you decide to do it, it really comes down to you and how much you like practice your meditation. Because there's a lot of times I was sitting there and I was saying my mantra in my head, sometimes slow, sometimes fast. And that's another thing. If you pay for this, they might tell you what speed to say it in, but I don't think that matters. So I'd be saying it kind of slow, kind of fast, and thoughts would be in the background of that almost. And I feel like that helped me become like the watcher of my thoughts almost. But I'm not 100% sure. I just know that it would almost kind of annoy me in a sense of where I was like, wait, I've been saying my mantra, but now all these thoughts are coming. So then I would go back to my mantra. If you want, you can always pick one. Like I said, a single syllable one, which you could just repeat over in your head, like Om, or, find ones that mean something to you or feel good to you. And you could do 2 syllables, 3 syllables. But it's all about, just keep doing that over and over and over and over again. Set your timer for 20 minutes. So that way you don't, lose track of time or anything, and just in case you fall asleep or something, because there's been times where I have fallen asleep during this. And, just go for it. Don't feel like because you don't have the money that you can't find the peace. It's really all about, putting in the work and putting in a little bit of research and just finding out how to do it, which hopefully I did a good job of explaining it for you. But just to recap, basically, if you want to start Transcendental Meditating, I would just start looking it up a little bit, trying to find a couple videos on YouTube. I would, then search for mantras online. You could even find, don't search for like mantra meanings, because the whole point of this mantra is to be a sound, like vibration that has like zero meaning whatsoever. You wouldn't want to say something like, even like, cow or whatever, just because I feel like then you get a picture of cow, especially if you keep saying that over and over in your head. Key, whatever you decide, it can't be something that has meaning, or even like a sound that would remind you of something. Try to find one that's almost like, oh, that's a weird sound, and then say that over and over in your head, so that way you never have any like meaning for that. And that'll help it so that your mind relaxes and gets to that like single point of focus and starts to actually like transcend and get all those thoughts away, because it is really hard for your brain to have those, while you're trying to say something over and over in your head and you're actually saying it, whether it's slow or fast. You can't really think behind it, and when you do, it's almost like you notice those thoughts, instead of like when you're doing like a mindful meditation and you're trying to just follow the breath. Obviously you start thinking, because that's your natural, that's what you do every day, all day. So when you start thinking, you're not even like thinking much of it. But if you have this like mantra that you're trying to say, instead of watching the breath or following your breath, it might help you just stay focused on trying to actually have your mind clear. And if you notice that you're not saying your mantra anymore, or it's gone away and you're thinking again, there's no big deal. Just like mindful meditation or any other type of meditation, you want to just go back to your mantra and not judge your thoughts, and just continue on for that 20 minutes and keep doing it, because I promise you it will eventually work and you'll feel amazing. All the celebrities, obviously because they can afford this, have done this, and they like rave about it. Anyone who's actually ever paid raves. And I've looked into this, and people say that it's because they feel like they've been duped, and they obviously don't want to like admit that they were tricked into spending all this money for something that doesn't work for them. But I honestly think that it does work for them. I think if they're putting the money in as well, like obviously you put in all this money, so you're gonna really try to like obtain this peace or whatever it is that you're after. But like I said, you don't need the money. Just pick a mantra, sit down with it, and just repeat that over and over again. You can even use mine if you'd like. I feel like I even took it from somebody else, or I can't remember how I got this mantra, but I know that for me it works. And I've changed it a couple times, but I've always ended up coming back to this one. But I just use Sha La Om, and I say that in my head over and over again. I found that the best speed for me is just having it steady, sha la om, sha la om, sha la om. So that way I don't have to follow a certain breathing pattern. But if that feels like it's working for you as well, to follow, your breath, say it as you go out, say it as you go in, or whatever, make it your own and just keep trying. So with that being said, guys, if you liked this video and it's helped you out at all, please hit that thumbs up. And if you notice, my channel is rather small right now, but I'm trying to grow it. I make videos Monday through Friday, podcast style, where I'm talking about experiences in my life, things that have helped me, and maybe stories that I've just heard in my life that I think that'll help other people if they've heard them. If any of that sounds good to you, please subscribe to my channel and comment if you have any input, if you've learned anything about Transcendental Meditation, or if you have any other tips that I may have missed out on that you think that people could really use, then go ahead and leave that down below. I really appreciate you guys spending this 10 minutes with me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace.